Hey guys, this is Dante,
Hey, this is Matt.
and you are tuned into Bus Call Podcast, a podcast about two guys touring. Obviously, right now, still, we are not doing that. We're still quarantined. Um, this is our third attempt at recording this episode. Matt, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So yesterday was WrestleMania, which is a big day for me. It's my big drinking holiday. And yeah, we tried beforehand. We were having a really bad signal, so we decided to try afterwards. And I was WrestleMania drunk. And yeah, maybe we'll put some clips out from that thing, but a lot of me not being able to pronounce words, a lot of slurred words.
A lot of
And
hate talk too. You were dishing out the hate.
okay, when you say hate, it makes it sound like way worse than it was. I
No,
named
not racist, not racist. Just like
yeah.
my band's the fucking best, and every other band sucks. And I challenge every. You, you were, I won't say the name, but you were challenging one band in particular to do a show with you, and then like you were hating on this band, but also being like, do a show with us, and we'll play better than you, and we'll be the better band. And I
Which
kept being like, why would
you can't really judge that. It's all like
well to
people like
you
you.
that
But
not just that, but also why would any band want to do a show with a band that hates them?
I don't know. I don't know. But we won't we won't say what name that was, but I mean, yeah, I was like you could have convinced me that pigs fly last night and I would have been like, yeah. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
thing. That's a thing. I was
yeah,
3 sheets to the wind. I was 5 sheets to the wind.
yeah. We call that a alcohol day.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was my alcohol day. So we made the mistake of trying to do this after WrestleMania, which for what it was pretty awesome, by the way. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we tried. It was a failure, but there's some fun clips from it that maybe we'll put up on YouTube or whatever, so you
Save
guys
it
can
for
get an
the
idea.
we'll save it for the Patreon whenever the fuck
Yeah,
that happens.
you got to pay to see me this drunk. You just don't get that level of drunk for free.
And are
So
you
we're trying to.
drinking currently?
Well, yeah, I have to drink to do this podcast. I have to drink to talk to you because you are not someone that people can talk to sober.
Ooh,
So
all right. And what time is it for the
it's
record?
it's after 5 o'clock, and that's all that matters.
It's not after 5 o'clock where I am in Central Time. So just want to, for the record, state that Matt Harmon is an alcoholic piece of shit. Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm Dante.
Ah,
So,
how
yes.
was WrestleMania?
Oh, WrestleMania, like for what it was great. Like obviously there's no crowd, but it was very entertaining. They had some good matches. They had this thing. I just want to find the video and send it to you because it
Mhm.
was the Bray Wyatt John Cena Firefly Funhouse match. That was like a wrestling match on acid.
What the
Like
fuck does that mean?
dude, I woke up today like, man, I was so drunk last night and I'm kind of replaying WrestleMania in my head and like I had to go back and watch it today and I thought I had like made up all the things that happened in that match. But no, the shit is real. It happened. It was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in wrestling.
Okay, all right.
And so I guess that's the benefit of the situation because I don't think they ever would have done that if they were in a fucking football stadium in front of 70,000 people like they were supposed to be. But
Okay,
since they
I'm
couldn't,
I'm interested now. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I
So,
saw a
dude, I don't.
meme. I saw a meme of John Cena wearing a New World Order shirt, and like I
Yeah,
think
that
he
was
had a
part of it.
belt that was spray painted or something.
Yeah, yeah, dude, it was weird. It was like they were, I don't know, like they played the intro for like the WCW Monday Nitro, but it was the NWO version. And dude, I don't know. I can't even explain this match. Like
Yeah,
it's just if there was it time travel? Like it's weird. It was one of the weirdest, most bizarre things I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot in wrestling. And
yeah. I'd love to see that. That sounds crazy.
yeah, I got to send it to you because it's like, is it a match? Is it a skit? Like I don't know what the fuck it was, but like, god damn it, it was entertaining because it's like you had like I'm like, where's this going? Like every single point in the match, I'm like, where is this going? What is going on? So you had me hooked till the very end, and then I'm like, I guess that's a conclusion. Like I guess that's how the match ended. There wasn't a
I think
fucking referee or. Yeah, it was fucking bizarre, man.
I love that. I'd love to see it. JR, saxophone player of Less Than Jake, he was live tweeting throughout it. Did you follow that at all?
Yeah, I was like following a lot of his tweets.
Yeah, he had a lot of good things to say, bad things to say.
It was entertaining. It was adding to the entertainment of the situation, because I don't really do Twitter. I have an anonymous Twitter with just a name I've made up that I only use to go on and do wrestling stuff on Twitter.
What is that name? Are you?
Oh no, I'm not giving that out. Not giving that out public.
Yeah, I've never been a tweeter. I don't think I ever will. I don't get it.
I was when it first came out, and then it was just like, I'm kind of over this. But like, I don't really do it. I don't hear about how fucking mean people are. But I was live tweeting an event for a company called AEW that's different than the WWE, and AEW has this like hardcore internet fan base. And I said some things that were critical of the AEW product, like they have these two characters that are librarians and they shush you. And I made a comment about how that was dumb. Yeah, they're like,
no, that's awesome.
I was like, that's
really cool.
I was like, I think I tweeted something like, what the fuck is this guy gonna do? Like, shush me to death? Like, what the hell? And dude, people jumped on me. I was like, oh, so this is Twitter. Like, this is what people talk about. How people are fucking mean on Twitter. Wow. So yeah, that's why I don't give my name out. I kind of use it to like say what I have to say on there. I don't say a whole lot. I mainly kind of follow things and mainly kind of like a source of wrestling news. But yeah, not a big Twitter or Twitterer. I was when it first came out, like 2009. Mm-hmm. But I think even Obama had a Twitter before me. I think that was like how I heard about it. Like this guy Obama has a Twitter.
One guy
Obama.
Yeah.
And yeah, not really been my thing. Like I'm not
go ahead.
What? I was gonna say anyone will tell you that I'm not a big social media person. Like all you have to do is look at how often I post.
Yeah.
And you can see that.
Which is scary considering that you're running our social media.
Oh yeah. If anyone wants to volunteer to take over our social media, we pay in long distance high fives.
I'm pretty sure your girlfriend could do that very easily and probably enjoy it, and you probably wouldn't even have to pay her. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I guess that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So anyway, what were you?
Did you ever see? I saw this just in the depths of the internet. There's a video of probably Japanese wrestlers, because I know they have like hard style, is it right? In Japan, is like a style of wrestling or something. They have a whole league.
Strong style.
Strong style, whatever. I saw this video. It looked dated, like early 2000s or 90s, and it's two Japanese wrestlers, and they're fighting, and one of them kisses the other, and like gets pushed back, and then the other one kisses them, and they just keep kissing each other back and forth until a kiss like knocks them out and like throws them to the ground.
There's a lot of weird, goofy shit you can find when it comes to wrestling. Like there's this one fucking asshole Joey Ryan that does the dick flip. And
I saw that.
Around.
Someone grabs him by the dick, and then somehow.
But why would you grab their dick? Like, why would you grab their dick? I mean, when I was at Fest Wrestling,
especially if you know that he is the one that does the dick flip, why would you do that?
You can grab anybody else's dick, but not the one guy who can use it to flip you. No, at Fest Wrestling, they had like a line of 8 dudes all holding on to each other's dicks, and Joey Ryan like dick flipped them all. And like everyone's laughing, and I'm like, "This is so fucking dumb."
Wait. The I don't know the wrestler the dick wrestler, the wrestler that does the dick flip. 8 different people were grabbing onto his dick at once.
No. So it was like one guy's grabbing onto Joey Ryan's dick, another guy's grabbing onto that guy's dick, and another guy's grabbing onto that guy's dick, and another guy's grabbing onto that guy's dick, and then Joey. Yeah, and then Joey Ryan just like, ugh, and like fucking flips them all. And it's just like,
did they flip at the same time? Did they flip like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like,
no, that would have been way cooler if it was like a wave. Like they did like the wave of flips.
This shit. I think that's where I think touring is fucking dumb now. I'm gonna be a wrestling writer. I would be impressed if they did the dick flip wave.
Well, it's just dumb because it's like, I know it's predetermined, it's fake, whatever you want to call it, but there's a believability aspect to it, and then like as soon as you start doing stupid shit like that, where it's just like there's no reason for you to grab his dick, like I mean, if that's what you're into, that's what you want to do, whatever. But like, there's no reason, like in a wrestling match with this guy, especially him being the dick flip guy. Logically, why would you grab his dick? Maybe he puts your hand on there and then flips you, like. But like the fact
Yeah,
that, yeah, I don't know, whatever. There's some indie bullshit out there, but
I
fast
know.
wrestling is cool. I don't want to. I'm not negative, trying to be negative about fast wrestling. I mean, it is on my koozie
Mhm.
right here, but I am being
Mhm.
negative about that particular aspect of it. Which, by the way, you
About the
left Sunday
dick.
at Fest. Fest wrestling was the best thing at Fest.
I
Not
had
really,
to leave
but
to
it was good.
go to a tour. I was doing a tour with Dune Rats from Australia, mate,
Oh
and no regrets.
no, no, you did the right thing. I'm just joking. You wouldn't have even enjoyed. You wouldn't have even been at Fest wrestling if you were there Sunday. So
I might have been. I don't know. I actually I went into Fest this last year not necessarily stoked. I was kind of like in a weird place mentally and shit. And I don't know, like actually went in there and I was pretty much working, definitely working all day Friday and working like pretty like doing a bunch of other bullshit that the band needed me to do Saturday. Uh, but I actually had a great fucking time unexpectedly. Like was kind of like work. Like it was in a weird headspace, but it ended up being great. So many fucking rad people I got to see and like bands and whatever. Fest is more to me that year. Fest was more about like friends than it was about music or shows or whatever the fuck. Like I don't know, it was great. That was your
yeah,
first time, right?
yeah, I'm not one of these fucking hipsters or whatever. I don't go every year. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was my first time. I've never been able to go for like because I've been working other things. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I was with Supervillains, they would always be on tour that year. And then my other job at the smoke shop, when I was like hardcore into that, running that, working there like almost every day, it's like always some. I've had tickets twice and had to sell them the week of. But this is
Yeah,
yeah, this is the first time I was actually able to go and enjoy it, and was fucking paid to do it. Boom.
yeah,
Other
absolutely.
people paid money to be there. I was paid to be there.
Some people play it and don't even get paid. A lot of people actually. You know, there's a million bands. Um, sorry. Oh, burping.
You having some indigestion?
I just like slammed a Popeye's chicken sandwich before I fucking came on today. I went to the post office today, um, and mailed out some vintage shirts that I have. By the way, I do vintage shirts. Um, you know, here's one. That's George Strait. I'm not gonna. This isn't even supposed to be a visual thing podcast, so whatever. I'm
No,
not gonna
which
keep showing
which
them.
which which by the way, we are working on that. We're waiting on the first episode's up on YouTube. We are waiting
Mm-hmm.
on approval from Spotify, Apple Podcast, stuff like that. So the audio versions of these will be up. We'll start doing that. But for now, this is just kind of the easiest way we can do it. There was never supposed to be a video option in this. We were only going to do this when we were on tour together and could
Mm-hmm.
be in the same room together. But we're kind of doing this out of necessity and to entertain ourselves first
We're
and
figuring it
foremost.
out.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you all who have like watched and are being patient with us. And I've gotten some pretty good feedback about this, about the first
Same,
episode. So
same,
I
same.
think I think one of my favorites being Scott from
From Scotland.
Scotland.
That's not a joke. Yeah,
This is Scott
yeah.
from Scotland.
He was saying that it sounds like it makes him feel like he's just in the pub bullshitting with us, and that's exactly what I think we're trying to go for. And yeah, thanks for listening. Please continue to. And yeah,
So I
we did. The post office thing. I wasn't
oh yeah.
done. Real quick. I'm sorry. It's just a tiny cool thing that happened today. I'm in line mailing off shirts, and there's a guy, metal dude, tattoos head to toe. You know that band Crowbar? You ever heard of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
band? So
yeah,
he
I've heard of
had
them.
Crowbar tattooed on the back of his neck. He was wearing a Crowbar shirt, and he was wearing a shirt with his own face on it because he is the lead singer of Crowbar, and he was mailing out
Crowbars.
fucking yeah. He was mailing out a bunch of Crowbars. No, he was mailing out a bunch of fucking merch and just
Spelled
started a
crowbar
conversation.
brand crowbars.
Okay. Ran into Crowbar today. Apparently he lives near where I grew up, and yeah, it's good. It's real out here, merch hustle. Speaking of which, Les and Jake have masks for sale, and if you buy one, they donate one. So check that out. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, definitely visit Less Than Jake's merch website, and let's say a little bit more so we can invoice them for this advertisement.
Oh, I mean, I've been invoicing them. They haven't really been responding.
I just like walk down the street and just start yelling out Less Than Jake's merch website, and so yeah, they owe me a few shekels for that.
Yeah, shillings. Yeah. Man. Can't wait to fucking tour again. I don't know if that's been said. I hate this, and I don't want to be here, and I want to do things.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So going back to that whole getting feedback from people thing. So I did get I did get a few people asking how it was that we came to start working for Less Than Jake. So let's start with you, Dante. How is it that you now work for Less Than Jake? What's the connections there?
Oh, well, I told this whole story last night when you were blackout drunk and we recorded it, but here we go, round 2. I don't mind. So
Wrestlemania drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I've been touring. I dropped out of college and kind of jumped in the van with Pears, the band, out here in New Orleans, and we really weren't much back then at all. Weren't signed or anything. Then shit just blew up. We got signed, went to Europe, fucking went to Australia, did all this crazy shit. And Pears is great. I love Pears. I was supposed to go on this next tour they had, and that got canceled, obviously. And so I kind of hit a wall where I was like, this is great. I love you guys. The band was slowing down. It's like, I got to do something else. So then I worked for Valiant Thor on a Warped Tour. And then this is before that. Yeah, I think it was before that. Doesn't matter. I ended up working for a band called Cashed Out, actually from Orlando.
I know those guys.
And yeah, and they were on tour with Less Than Jake Pepper, Red City Radio, and then them Cashed Out. Didn't know them at all. Didn't really, just kind of shooting in the dark. I was just ready to go on tour with anyone. Like, just got to do something that seemed like a cool tour package. It was all over the West Coast and then ended in Chicago. Crazy routing, crazy shows, big venues. I also met Vinny before all this. Like at one point he wanted to sign Pears, and they played New Orleans. It was Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, Authority Zero. This is the tour package, and they played in New Orleans. And me and Brian from Pears, Jared from Pears, and Brian's wife, went on the bus and talked with Vinny and drank half a bottle of Jameson, and we didn't sign with him. What do you mean?
No, you never drink Jameson. You're a liar.
No, never. Actually, currently I've been on this Proper 12, which is Conor McGregor, the UFC fighter's whiskey, which I think that guy's a fucking douchebag, but my brother got me this for Christmas, and it's not bad. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so kind of met Vinny, met some of the dudes, but that tour that I did with them, working for Cashed Out, was a good opportunity to kind of really get to know everyone more and get more in the swing of things. Was dealing with Matt Yonker a lot. He was tour managing at the time, and kind of, fucking got familiar and kind of hinted at him like, hey man, if you ever need anyone, let me know. And then
didn't you do a tour with Direct Hit that it wasn't with Less Than Jake, but Yonker and Brian were on that?
This was right before. It was right before that, actually. I was tour managing Direct Hit, and it was Direct Hit, Runaway Kids, Bowling for Soup, and Matt Yonker was filling in tour management for Bowling for Soup. So yeah, 2 tours pretty much back to back of working with him and dealing with him and shit. And I try not to bug anyone or be a fucking. Nobody wants that guy that's like, hey man, hi, hey, please hook me up. I need a thing. I wasn't trying to do that, but I kind of after that tour I did with Less Than Jake, I kind of texted him periodically like, hey, I'm totally open and free if you need anyone. And then I was working for a band called the Frights for a while. That was a big break for me. They do really well and was making a good salary and was really stoked on it. Great dudes, still love those guys. And I was on tour with them, and I texted Yonker out of the blue, and he texted me back pretty much immediately, like, actually, yeah, we need a merch person for this tour coming up, and agreed to it right away. And that was actually just supposed to be a fill-in just for one show, and things worked out, and I ended up doing obviously the rest of the year and until now with them. And yeah, there's been a lot of ups and downs and craziness and all that, but I love it, and love all the dudes. And I don't really want to say this, but I don't hate you.
That's is about as close of a nice thing or a compliment as you and I can give each other. We were kind of like both thrust into this together because we both basically started at the same time. I originally met them. I was working for I was working for this band called the Supervillains. I was doing everything from stage tech, tour managing. I kind of worked my way around that band for quite a few years. I was with them in 2011. Supervillains and Less Than Jake did a tour together, and so that's how I first met the guys and kind of ran into them over the years here and there. Mostly Chris, because he does that Skago solo tour, and a band in the West has played that a couple times when it's come through Orlando. And I have the poster framed on the wall, so I'm looking up at it right now. So it was December of 2017. December 21st of 2017.
That's really cool and all. I forgot to mention also that my band played with Less Than Jake, the full band, not just Chris, the lead singer.
I think you said that on the first episode.
I know. I'm just saying that I also have that like I met some of them then before. So, and that was my full band. It wasn't just they were playing their full band. It wasn't just a solo thing.
They told me, and I'm not supposed to tell you this, but all of them have come to me individually and said that they've tried to strike that from their memory because every time they think about that, they want to fire you.
Each one of them on their own accord just came to you and said
pulled
that
me
exactly.
aside privately and was like, Harmon, I got to get this off my chest. Like they have nightmares about it. Like it's been a really tough thing for them to deal with for years. And then you being around just kind of like reminds them of this tragedy they went through. And
so you call it tragedy, or
that's their words, not mine. Their words, not mine. So
straight from the horse's mouth, huh?
Okay, obviously that last little bit was bullshit. Just in case anyone like wants to take that word for word and actually thinks that I'm being serious. But are you done with your part? Can I get back to my part?
Yeah,
I'll let you tell your fucking part.
I also have a poster on my wall of that show. So I mean,
is it framed?
No, it's
who's fucking poor now, Dante? I paid for the goddamn frame. Who's fucking poor now? Okay, anyway, my neighbors probably heard that. So yeah, anyway, let me refresh myself. So anyway, we did that show, and I kind of talked to Chris, and at the time, I don't want to use the term rock bottom, but things like personally weren't going really well for me. Like I had just like the month before gone through this awful breakup, and in a bad way, not taking care of myself, and I was oddly enough working at a pedicab shop because my friend was managing it because his brother-in-law owned it, and my friend Chad, who actually worked with me with Supervillains and left Supervillains to go work for Less Than Jake, is now kind of doing his own thing. But me and him were working there together, and so it's like I talked to Chris, and I guess they needed somebody. So they were trying to think, and Chris brought up my name, and then went through Dom from the Supervillains to get a hold of me. So one day I'm working at the pedicab shop, hating life, and Dom calls me, he goes, hey, the Less Than Jake guys are trying to get a hold of you. Would you want to do anything? Should I give him your number? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So Chris called me, and I don't even think he said what I'd be doing. I think he just said they needed a guy. And, it's like I look around, and I'm just like working on bikes, which I don't enjoy. I know that some people do, and that's pretty cool, but...
Yeah, you gotta be a real bike guy with a flip hat,
Well, I've met those people. They exist. So that's certain people's thing. But I was hating it. Looked around and like, it's like I don't even care. He's putting on a flippy hat that he can't even keep.
Thanks.
So I was like, man, I don't even
Yep.
care what they want me to do. Yeah, I'm gonna go give that a shot.
Mm.
And I forget how. I think that was like a couple weeks. I just remember that it was like a February 2018, because I remember the first person I called was Jason, the drummer in a band Midwest. And I called him. I'm like, dude, fucking Chris from Less Than Jake just called me. I'm gonna go on tour. I'm gonna fucking work for those guys. And he just goes, you forgot about my wedding, didn't you? And I'm like, oh shit, because I was supposed to be in his wedding. And it just
Mm.
happened to work out that tour went Pensacola, Sarasota, day off, Jacksonville. And that day off was my drummer's wedding in St. Augustine. So I left the
Totally,
tour,
totally forgot about that.
went to St. Augustine, had the wedding, and then my friend Adam drove me up to Jacksonville the next day, and I met up with the tour. So it worked out perfectly. But one of the interesting aspects was, so I live in Orlando. Obviously, I have to go up to Gainesville, and I knew Brian. Like, I knew him from that tour I did, and I've seen him here or there over the
Brian
years.
is the old tech for Less Than Jake. He now works for a bunch of other bands. For anyone who doesn't know, great dude.
Yeah,
Kind of
no, Brian's the fucking man. He showed me the ropes. He kind of, I learned a lot. I owe a lot to Brian. I definitely owe a
same,
lot to Brian.
same.
So
I'm not really a tech guy. I mean, I can do some shit, but like that's not my strong suit. I'm definitely much more merch and management. Um, but just he's so full with knowledge and logic to the point of like you kind of want to fucking strangle him because like he's just 3 steps ahead of you on everything. I don't know. I like love the dude. Like I call him all the time if I'm just like frustrated or just like stressed about like a thing or I don't know. Just he's good. He's good. He's a good dude to have in your
yeah,
life. Yeah.
no, I love Brian. Maybe if we can figure it out, we'll have him. I want to have him as a guest on this show, but I feel like he's just gonna like be like, hey, remember this one time I said this to you, and I said this
He's
to you.
gonna no. He just shit on all the time. But
He was
maybe
very
that'd be
good.
great.
He was very good about saying things in a way to where it's like slightly mean, but he's right, and you want to do better, and that's what makes you the most mad about it. It's like he'll say
Oh,
something to you, and you're like, "You're right. I'm better than this. I can do better." And it's like you get.
do you remember the thing he told you that was like we talked about it before. It was like the worst thing he told you, but like was a good thing to tell you.
I don't remember. I mean, there's been so many.
He's see he was more or less you were basically his apprentice, so you got it worse than I did. But he'd give me shit too. He'd be like, use the smart part of your brain and shit, like say stupid shit
Access,
like that. Yeah,
access the smart
access
part of
the
your
smart
brain.
part of your brain. He would I think he told you once, and I don't know in what context, but he told you like don't go walking around thinking that you did a good job because you're doing a good job because you're not. Or
Yeah,
some
no,
shit like that.
that's what it was. And I remember it was in it was Big Bear, California.
Yeah.
Um, and it was back when I still smoked cigarettes. And I think it's like we were on the Face to Face tour, and I think it's like it was Face to Face's turn to headline that night. And I thought we had everything off stage, and I didn't realize he was still in there trying to get help. And so he comes out like with somebody else, like, "Oh, thanks for helping me," because I should have been in there helping him. He was 100% right. And like I was smoking a cigarette, and we had everything out, and it was like time to start breaking stuff down. I think I was like, "I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick. Do you need anything?" And he's like, "No." And I was walking away, and he goes, "I don't want you to walk around here thinking you're doing a good job because you're not." And and he,
Boom! Just right in the
yeah,
fucking heart.
he
But
was
like
he was
motivationally.
yeah, he was 100% right. Like, I mean, still every night, even after I get like, because between me and Addison, we have certain responsibilities, and he has his world, I have my world, but it's like to be a good crew, we have to communicate and both be helping each other. So even if I got all my stuff, I'm like, Addie, how's your world? Are you good? You need anything? Like, and he does the same thing with me. If because we both have a lot we deal with, and then it's like then they add stuff to it, like the fucking wacky inflatable arm filling tube men, which isn't a lot, but then it's like you got to figure out power, the staging them. There's like a lot that goes into it. So, you have to like look out for each other. And that was the lesson learned that day. And,
Yeah.
thankfully there's people like Brian that could have been easy to just blow me off and be like, this guy's a fucking idiot. But, Brian definitely helped out and did a whole, I almost getting tearing up just talking about the guy, It's like, Brian.
Good
But
dude.
no, good dude. But yeah, anyway, so I already kind of knew him and I kind of talked to him. And I think like you hit me up on like Facebook Messenger and was just kind of like, hey, so they said you can pick me up from the Gainesville airport or something like that. And like, I'd never met you before. I think we had some mutual Facebook friends and whatever. But yeah, I think you hit me up and asked me to come pick you up. And I pull up to the airport and I'm like looking at your photo. I have like my phone in my hand and I have your picture pulled up on Facebook. And I'm like driving along and then I see like this like homeless guy with like a trash bag. And then there you were. There you were. There you were in all your fucking glory. Ripped ass jean shorts, dirty shirt, like there you were. And I can't remember. Did I tell you like, hey, you can't open my passenger door?
Yeah, or your van was a piece of your minivan. I'm not even gonna give it the glory of calling it a van. It was a minivan, piece of shit, and the front door did not work.
I had this piece of shit van, and one day I was driving to the pedicab shop with windows down, and I got there and I went to roll them up, and the passenger window broke, so I had to take like the part of the door off and like get it up there and like basically duct tape the window so it would stay up there. And I never fixed that fucking window because I was like, well, like I don't ever sit there, so who the fuck cares? So for like the last like it was 2018. So yeah, the last like 2 years I had that van. Like there was the two sliding doors in like the passenger sliding doors, and then there was the one front door that opened and the other door didn't. It opened, but just like part of the door would fall off because I just kind of had it like rigged up to work.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the one that's homeless looking. My first impression of you, I don't even want to call it that. It was just you just had some quirky shit going on that I picked up on when I first met you. First off, like we were staying in the Quality Inn in Gainesville. Like they put us up in a room there, which like it wasn't a bad place, but it wasn't. It was like tile floors, like outdoor. You're opening your hotel room door from the outside. It wasn't like a super nice place, but you were stoked as fuck. Like, oh fuck yeah, hotel! Like this is nice. And then you you also like you had like at reception, I guess they had like a sign for like breakfast, and it was like pictures of waffles, and like you wouldn't shut the fuck up about waffles. You were like, oh yeah, man, I'm fucking waking up early, and like you said something to Brian about it too. He's like, yeah, I think they got waffles there, so I think I'm gonna wake up early and get waffles tomorrow. And then like you doubled down on it, and then you got like 2 tall boys of beer and like drank those as I was like going to sleep, and you took like 2 showers, and I'm like, who the fuck is this dude?
First of all, I shower excessively in hotels because that's just a thing I like to do. Like because I knew we were about to leave on tour, and the last band I worked for, it was rare that you came across a shower in a venue. Like,
Right.
We would use like if there was a hose out back, we'd be out there in like our swim trunks, like soaping up and like showering off with like the hose in back of the venue if that was the way to do it. So I didn't expect any showers. So I'm just like, I got to get these in while I can.
But I think that's your attitude with everything, and it is mine too in a lot of ways. I definitely do the same thing. Like, get it while you can. It like if it's fucking free food, a place to sleep, open bar, like you're gonna get your money's worth, and your money's worth is $0. And there's nothing a Harmon likes more than something for free that he didn't pay for.
This is definitely fucking true. It is definitely true.
Yeah. And then I fucking, we meet up with the band, the bus arrives, and we're on the bus, and I'm like, whatever. I'm sure you were nervous too, but a little anxious and nervous about like, fuck, hope they like me. Don't want to sound like an idiot. And I remember you told Matt like, yeah, thanks for putting us up in that hotel. It was awesome. And I was like, well, fuck, he's like thanking them. I guess I was like, yeah, man, thanks for that. That was great. And Matt was like, seriously? Quality Inn, like, it's not like, okay, like
That's
you
what
like
they all
laugh.
said. They all thought it was funny that I was like so grateful. I'm like, they put us up in a fucking Quality Inn. Like, 'cause it was a new world to me, and I was just like, I just wanted to make sure they knew I was grateful and I wasn't taking anything for granted. I never want to be like, yeah, get me a hotel room, motherfucker, or anything like that. You know, just like, hey,
Well,
thanks for
yeah.
this.
Well, then I bandwagoned on that, and then immediately regret it when like it was like a laughing thing. Like, what? I don't
They
know.
laughed, but I'm sure they appreciated the gratitude. You know,
Yeah, sure. You
but
know,
also, they're kind of used to like being they're more used to that life than I am. So, it's kind of it was a new thing for me. But yeah, dude, it was a Quality Inn. I was like, this is fucking cool. Like,
yeah.
you know, I was excited. Everything was exciting. Like, it still is. It still is. Like, there's different things that I get excited about every tour. Sometimes it's new cities. Like, I'm very excited that if the the fall Europe tour happens, we're going back to Czech Republic. So I'm excited
Prague.
about
Yeah.
that. Prague was super fun last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was excited that I was gonna go to like Budapest, Hungary for the first time. Like, it's always exciting.
I,
It's always a new
I've never
adventure.
been
It does get.
there. Yeah, I haven't been there either. I think there's also a Poland date. I think we have a date in Poland, which
I
I've
can't
also never
remember
been to.
if I've ever been to Poland or not. But if you're saying you've never been there,
I
then I
can.
definitely haven't been there.
I'm pretty sure you've been everywhere I've been in Europe. So I'd be 100% sure that you have not been to Poland. But who knows?
That's what I'm saying. If you're sure you haven't been there, then I definitely haven't been there.
Yeah, we're supposed to go to Poland on that one. Hey, dude, fuck, if shit's in October, then we're. I think if shit's not together by August, then we're fucked. We're gonna have bigger problems on our hands. But who knows?
Yeah. Get to work while
You
you
know.
can, there, people. Anyone who's out there still being able to work.
Yeah. It's just anyway.
So,
yeah, it was that was a good first tour, and like I kind of walked away from it thinking like, well, that was cool. Who knows if I'll ever get to do that again? And then because I think your position was more like we need a guy for the year, where for
well, no,
me,
I was told it was a trial thing. Like,
yeah,
the first day. Yonka goes, if this works, then like you'll be our guy. And I remember just looked at him and I was like, it will work, because at that point in my life things were so bad. I'm like, something needs to go good. So I put all my energy into it. There's definitely been some ups and downs. I definitely have not always been the best employee, but I try.
Same, dude. you know that. Like we have fucked up before, but there was a point where I fucked up, and I kind of had to go to each member and be like, I fucked up. I'm sorry. And JR was like, hey man, it's better than forget exactly what he said, but he basically said, like, it's better than saying you're fucked up, you fucked up, and it's not gonna happen again. Is fucking acting is action. Basically saying like actions speak louder than words is all it was.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, it's fucking hard to talk, and that's really what this is about. Is just in touring or in any job or just in life in general, just don't fucking make the same mistakes twice and try to be evolving and learning. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think we all have bad. I think on tour everybody has bad days, whether you're in the band and you had a rough show or something bad happened, or you're a crew guy and you did something fucking stupid that you shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
All you can really do is just keep going forward and just keep trying to do as best as you can, and just doing better. Like, yeah, sometimes you fuck up and you got to say you're sorry, but you just got to go through, just not make excuses and just keep on pushing through to the next day, because I feel like you're only as good as the last show you did. So
No, exactly. I mean, that couldn't be more true, man. It's fucking like you can do a whole tour and kick ass, and then the last day do something fucking so fucked, and that could be the end of it right there. And I don't know. I don't know. It's shit's crazy. It's right now. Obviously, it's like it's just thinking back on like being out on tour and complaining about I'm tired, I need a shower. Like fuck, I said this in the last one too. I'd fucking do any tour right now if it was a possibility, but it's fucking not. Shit sucks.
It's not. It sucks. But combined with the first part of this, I think it's time to wrap it up there, Dante. So hopefully this is entertaining for you. I had fun. I was
I had fun.
entertained.
I think this one was great as well. This is the third time we've tried episode 2. First time connection
So
was bad. Second time Harmon was blackout drunk. This one's great.
WrestleMania drunk.
Alcohol Holiday WrestleMania drunk.
Yeah.
Harmon, we did not do this. Do you want to plug our email and socials, and we'll
Do you have any questions? Sorry, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. If you have any questions, anything you want to ask us, anything you want us to talk about, or if you just want to give us feedback whatsoever, you can email us at buscallpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at buscallpod, Instagram at buscallpod.
you did the same thing last night when you were drunk. Our Instagram
Shit, yeah.
our Instagram is at Buscall Podcast. Motherfucker.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter at Buscall Podcast, and email is buscallpod@gmail.com. Again, that's buscallpod@gmail.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're talking about coming up with some other just kind of YouTube only content. Hopefully, by the time you're hearing this, everything's been worked out with Spotify and Apple Podcasts and everything, and we're up on there. But yeah, so thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. This has been fun. Stay safe, take care of each other. And Dante, wrap it up.
Thanks for making it to Buscall Podcast. See you guys.